Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great pleasure to say hello to all of you. It's great to have you here. My name is Marcin Bielecki, and I'm product manager in CloudFerro. Today with me, I have Patrick Jaskula, geospatial solution sales and business development manager from Airbus. Uh, Before we start, maybe a few words about the agenda. First of all, I will give you a quick brief about the CloudFerro and the CreoDias. Also, with the possibility of wide range of VHR data. After that, Patrick will provide you an information about the Airbus constellation and the services and show you the live demo of one Atlas service from Airbus. Please keep in mind that if you will have any questions regarding the webinar about the services from CloudFerro or Airbus, feel free to put it in the chat, and during the Q&A session, we will try to answer all the questions. If we don't have a time, we will send the answers through the email to all of participants. I also would like to ask you to don't leave after Q&A session, because we will launch a short survey about this webinar and upcoming. So, as a quick reminder, for those who are not familiar with CloudFerro, we are a Polish technological company, which from the very beginning was focused on providing cloud service, mainly to European satellite data sector. And of course, based on our experience and achievements, we can confidently say that we have become a European leader in this area, because currently we are part of or leading some of the most important projects related to Earth observation data. As you can see on the timeline, we have been focused on satellite data projects and especially on providing data from the Copernicus program. And through the last 7 years, we deliver, and we are still delivering the projects like CreoDias, the DIAS platform. In the other hand, we are provider on the second DIAS called Wikio, which is focused on the climate and meteorology. But after that, we deliver a similar platform called Code.de for German space agency. But right now, if we are looking on the 2023, when we have about 34 petabytes of data, we are becoming part of the Copernicus data space ecosystem in the DAS project, Data Access Services, along with another projects called Data Lake with the destination Earth. Our experience grew through daily work with clients such as European Space Agency, EUMETSAT, European Center Midweather Forecast. But we also admire work with over 40 scientific institutions and many partners, for instance, in Horizon 2020 projects. As I said previously, right now, our focus is placed on developing data access services from Copernicus data space ecosystem for ESA, and in the other hand, Data Lake from destination Earth, led by EUMETSAT. Moving on to the data, which is obviously most important in today's webinar. As I said from the beginning, we've been focused on the Copernicus data. which are obviously used all over the world. But in the order to expand and have full capabilities in our daily work with data, more than 3 years ago, we decided to become an official reseller of many vendors in the area of very high resolution imaging. So right now, as you can see on the right side, we are providing different data sets from different constellation and satellites. So if there is any requirements, any demanding of different resolution, we can provide whatever is needed. But today we will focus on Airbus, and of course, the best person to talk about Airbus services will be Patrick. Patrick, please, the floor is yours, and thank you for attention.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Martin, for inviting me. So my name is Patrick Jaskula. I'm with Airbus Defense and Space Intelligence, based in Toulouse. Today I will present you the very high resolution data and solutions. So let me just jump to my presentation.
Yeah, I'm trying to switch it off.
Perfect. Great. Okay, thank you very much. So maybe let me start with the introduction to Airbus Defense and Space Intelligence. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Airbus, the Airbus, the commercial that make a great airplanes, and there's also Airbus helicopters, and then the Airbus Defense and Space Connected Intelligence. So you can see there are different entities. So there is a secure communication, secure land communication, cyber security. And today we focus on intelligence. So we can say that we are at the end of the space value chain. We are delivering the Earth observation, and then we're managing satellites in orbit. Okay, and just I mentioned here as well, you can see the Airbus Defense and Space Military Air Systems and Space Systems. So these colleagues actually build the satellites, so Earth observation and navigation and communication satellites. So the satellites that we have in our constellations been actually built by the Space Systems. Okay, and let me just move to the next slide. Okay, so on the Airbus Intelligence, so you can see our core product is, of course, satellite data, Earth observation. And so we are also planning mission for our customers, delivering the data. And of course, after some time, once you accumulate the data, you need to manage this, you need to store it, you need to process it. So we have the systems and services. So it's a full value chain that we can provide. So for example, 3D modeling, auto rectifications, digital elevation models. And recently, for the last few years, we developed our digital offer. So everything is available on the cloud. It's really very intuitive system, plug and play. You can display the data in any GIS software. You can have access to the ground segment and task satellite when you need it, and have all the processing at your fingertip. Okay, and here you can see our constellation. So I'm confident to say that we have most diverse constellation available on the market. So we are offering, of course, optical data, but also radar. And then, of course, so the constellation, our latest addition will be Pleiades Neo, providing 30 centimeters resolution, 30 centimeter resolution. So we have the 2 satellites, also the 2 Pleiades, 50 centimeters, spot 6 and 7. We have the 1.5 meter older DMC constellation, 25 meters. And we have the Vision 1. So this is the UK asset, providing 80 centimeters resolution. And then, of course, we have the radar constellation, TerraSAR-X, TandemX, PASS, and NovaSAR from our partners. So majority of these sensors are available on One Atlas platform, which I'll deep dive in the moment. What is also, I think, worth it to mention, our future, our next constellations. So you see here CO3D. So there will be constellation of 4 satellites that will fly in pairs, and they will be positioned in opposition, which is perfect for making the stereo acquisitions. So the plan is to have the 3D model of the entire Earth in fastest possible time. Then we have the Zephyr. So this is the pseudo satellite that will fly in stratosphere and provide the persistent monitoring images and video. So we are also running pilots, and then the system, the Zephyr, should be commercially available in the nearest future. We're talking about year or 2 years. And TerraSAR X Neo, so this is the future SAR constellation. So there are plans to have this to guarantee continuity of our radar constellation. And the last but not least is the Hawkeye constellation. So this is in partnership with the Hawkeye. So here we can provide the radio frequency specifically for some maritime solutions. If the AIS is disconnected, we can apply the satellite images and the frequency to locate the vessels and monitor, for example, illegal activities on seas, in seas. Okay, now here you can see, so this is just to give you an idea of what is the difference between different resolutions. So this is the image taken over the same area. So you can see the DMC 22-meter constellation, 22-meter resolution, and then we gradually go into the highest resolution, so spot, vision 1, radar, Pleiades and Pleiades Neo. So you can see quality is there, and I have more examples where you can see really crisp quality on Pleiades Neo. Is just to present you what you can expect from our constellations. And of course, the higher resolution, the more things you can see on the image. So let's move on to our Pleiades Neo, right? I'm sure you've heard about it. Maybe you've seen some examples, maybe you've seen images. I mean, we are amazed with the quality. Our customers love it, and then we have years and years to come to deliver these images. So, few key points. So the Pleiades Neo provides 6 spectral bands. So we have the RGB, near infrared. The new spectral bands will be red edge, so perfect for agriculture, for monitoring biophysical parameters, chlorophyll levels, and then the deep blue, perfect for bathymetry. So here we can monitor coastal waters down to 35 meters deep. Pleiades Neo provided the daily coverage of anywhere, any point on Earth, at least one. So 30 centimeters native resolution, and then geolocation accuracy is 3.5 meter, unless we can also improve that with the ground control points. Now, here you can see just an example. This is the image taken over Sydney Airport. So with the 30 centimeter resolution, you can see, you can distinguish a lot of things, for example, marking on the runways. And see the features of the constructions. You can see smaller buildings, you can see vehicles. So again, if you're looking for quality, Pleiades Neo is the perfect choice. And here you can see another example. So this is the image over Singapore harbor. And then, you know, if you're working on some really detailed projects on mapping, if you need to stitch images together, if you need to measure distance between the objects or between the buildings, again, you'll be happy to have this geolocation accuracy. Okay. As I mentioned as well before, so the daily revisit anywhere, I think it's very important to remind this, and it's not only for Pleiades Neo. As well, you can use the Pleiades constellation or Spot constellation If you're really into daily revisit, if you need a constant monitoring, then we have the constellations at your disposal. Okay. Now, so what is the huge difference or upgrade in the Pleiades Neo constellation? That the ground segment is much more developed, and thanks to our two polar stations, we can task and we can program tasking every 45 minutes. And in the areas for the North Stratosphere, we can even the customers can request the tasking at 1 hour between the flyover. So it's a huge success, and again, quality of data, availability, and reactivity, all these things comes with the Pleiades Neo. Okay, let me just move to next. Okay, so we look at the constellation. So how do I access all those images and services? Very simple. We designed one Atlas platform, so it's all in one. Its access is via internet browser, preferred Chrome. And here you log in just to oneatlas.airbus.com. You log in and you have access to the archive, to the analytics, so the imagery. On top of imagery, I said in one Atlas, so we have the Pleiades Neo, daily acquisitions, Pleiades, and Spot. We have also radar constellation. And if you have to really fast extract information, for example, detect changes in the infrastructure, we have the artificial intelligence. So we have analytics plugged in, so you can quickly select your area of interest, select historical images, and algorithm will do the job for you, extract this information. We have the land use as well, classification. So we have 12 different classes, just to give you examples. So we can extract roads, buildings, swimming pools, the green area, forests, railway, playgrounds, and there's few more. If you're interested in this, we can provide you more information on land use classification. We can also extract and count the cars or trucks, or detect and count ships at sea, also aircrafts. So quite a lot of services on top of the imagery, and as well the reference layer. So we have our famous base map. So it's entire world is covered with the base map with the images less than 1 year old. So the cities will be covered with the Pleiades, and eventually we will come with the Pleiades Neo, and all the surrounding rural areas are covered with 1.5 meter. Digital elevation model and the 3D models available on demand, and all this is available either in streaming. If you just want to use these visuals, have quickly some information. If you need further processing, you can download images in formats in JPEG or GeoTIFF. As well, we have the API access, and we see more and more customers access via APIs, although we have beautiful interface, very intuitive. So you need very minimum training to be expert and know how to operate, how to find your way around one Atlas platform. Okay, so this is introduction to one Atlas, and we will do the demo in a couple of minutes. So you see this in action, how to task satellites and how to access your archive. Okay, so here we have as well the living library. So this is the place where you can access all the images. So going back to 2012, you have the Spot, Pleiades, and since the launch of Pleiades Neo, you also have the daily acquisitions available, and they're coming every day, hundreds and millions of square kilometers available at your disposal. And so of course you can see the Spot, you have the 1.5 meter Pleiades, 50 centimeters Pleiades Neo, and of course it's your choice, right? If you want to monitor big areas, and you, for example, for agriculture, Spot will be your preferred choice. And then if you're looking for detailed information, then of course Pleiades Neo, and that will come, of course, the size of the image, which is smaller. Okay. Now, I mentioned the resolutions that we have available, so that's the native resolutions. What we can do as well with the Pleiades Neo, we can process image and provide 15 centimeters quality resolution. So you will see again improvement. You don't see on the presentation because it's a PDF, but we have some examples on our website where you can compare 15 centimeters to 30 centimeters. So again, urban areas monitoring, if you're into detail, 15 centimeters will be your choice. We have as well the Pleiades Neo mosaicing. So again, if you need to have the kind of base map or monitoring huge areas, so there will be several images in one project. If you want to merge them together, then the Pleiades Neo mosaicing, it's on the cloud, it's really seamless, color balance, and it's fully automatic. So you have this information in the short periods of time. And another product extracted from Pleiades Neo is the elevation. So it's high precision, 50 centimeters, extracted from the stereo images. Okay. Now, let's move on to some use cases. Okay, we've selected 4 use cases, but of course, there are hundreds and hundreds, that we talk to our customers, and everyone is different, have different needs. So if you have any interesting use cases, and if you're not sure which resolution is for you, talk to myself, talk to Marcin, and we will provide you the best available advice. So mapping, infrastructure monitoring, agriculture, and maritime. So for mapping, again, you can see that the Pleiades Neo, if you want to update mapping over cities, again, you won't find the better resolution, and the speed of delivery is quite amazing. I mean, we can provide the coverage over entire cities, large major cities around the world in quite a short period of time. So you can then do the mapping, do the urban planning, create the 3D city models, and sky is the limit. Okay, the next one is on the infrastructure monitoring. So again, we have customers around the world that want to monitor either their own infrastructure or other infrastructures. So if you want to also monitor construction progress, if you want to monitor your contractors to see how things are progressing, and if your project or if your investment is on the other side of the world, I mean, you can quickly task the satellite, have the image within 1 or 2 hours, and you see exactly what is happening, and have this processed in any GIS software. So again, possibilities are endless here. For agriculture, what I say, yes, Pleiades Neo could be used in areas where the fields are very small. If we need to do some delineations, or if it's really precision agriculture, small fields, that's Pleiades Neo. If we're talking about monitoring huge areas, of course, then we would look at the Spot and Pleiades. Let me remind you, I mentioned at the beginning with the Pleiades Neo, the new spectral band, red edge. So here you can extract, much more information. It will take you to the next level, okay, compared to what is available on the market. And then the maritime, of course, maritime use case. You can see, we can merge all the sensors together. In most cases, maritime, you need to monitor large areas, so you need a big capacity, right? And here, if you combine Spot, Pleiades Neo, we have the radar satellite that can acquire images at night, clouds or no clouds, no problem. and we can merge this with our Hawkeye constellation. So depending on the use cases that you have, yeah, you can apply different sensors. Okay, and just to summarize, right, on the Pleiades Neo, right, so the key facts: 30 centimeters native accuracy, the 3.5 meters C90 location accuracy, and here we can acquire up to 1 million square kilometers per day, 2 new spectral bands, red, edge, deep blue, regular revisits, full autonomy. What is also important to say that the Pleiades Neo constellation was fully funded by Airbus, so we don't have a big anchor customers behind. So 100% of capacity is dedicated to our commercial customers. Okay, and if you're becoming Airbus or CloudFerro customer, you will have dedicated access to the joystick or to our entire archive, and you decide, when you want to task the satellite and what information you want to access. Okay, and okay, yes. So a few more informations. Yeah, quick and homogeneous coverage. So you see that when you're using Pleiades Neo, the data will be, in terms of accuracy, the quality is very similar. So you can really rely on archive data and new images. You guaranteed the same quality control and the timeliness delivery. Again, if you're working on a project in Europe, in USA, Asia, Middle East, absolutely fine. We have capacity to acquire data anywhere in the world. Okay. So this is the information on Airbus Intelligence. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe we can move now to the live demo. I show you One Atlas in action. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So let me just share my screen now. So I'm already logged in, but login process, there is nothing magical behind. You provide your email address and your password. And we're using Chrome, right? So if you're looking for the best performance, please use Chrome when you have logging into One Atlas. And the address is oneatlas.airbus.com. And you can register even today. And there is the button, and you can see available coverage in the living library. So it'll be first step to One Atlas for you. And then when you're looking for access to the archive, it's a subscription, or if you're tasking, talk to myself and Marcin, and we help you to find the best solution. So you can see, so this is the landing page, right? So we have a map. We can just zoom into the area, or we can just type here the area of interest. So it'll be city, village, postcode. We can also here draw the areas, so rectangle, or we can draw the polygon, or if we have already the shape file with our area, we can upload it here. And this is very useful when you have hundreds of areas of interest. You can upload them at once, so you don't have to repeat that action every time you're logging into One Atlas. Everything will be there. So when you have the new image coming to the living library, you will see that available. So let me just go somewhere in Europe. So CloudFerro is in Warsaw, so maybe let's go to Warsaw, right? So let's draw the area of interest. Maybe something smaller. Okay, not centrally, okay. Maybe we're a little bit outside of Warsaw. Okay, now let me just, maybe I can start over again. Let me show you how to quickly remove this. Okay, so I just go closer in Warsaw. And for the archive, the good thing is, right, you can have the very small areas and you pay only for what you consume. So the area could be 0.1 square kilometer, right? If you need more, of course, you can go for more. So 6 kilometers is not that big. And I go to archive, see here, and I see over that area, I have some images. So it's loading. Today we have 13 images, right? And I tell you what is behind. So 13 images available in the hot storage. So that means images with the highest or the lowest cloud cover and the low acquisition angle. We have, of course, more images here in the cold storage. So when I click here, I can access cold storage, and now I have 162 images, right? So the cold storage, we have images where the cloud cover is slightly higher. So there is, I would say, less demand for those type of images, but we have them in case you need the small area where there is no cloud, and so you can access them. So I just go back to the hot storage, and I'll show you example. So we have the Pleiades Neo image acquired on the 5th of September 2022. That image cover 100% of my area of interest. I can zoom to target. We are there, and I can stream the image on the map. And let's go. I can here zoom in. So you see the image is improving. So it's auto rectification on the fly. So you see it's improving. I hope you can see the final quality. Here we have some shadows from the tall buildings. So let's move a little bit. Okay. I don't know if it's a good example, but you see we can go even further and the quality should improve. I hope you can see it. So maybe this is not the most interesting area in Warsaw, but it just to show you how easy it is to navigate in one Atlas platform, right? So let's say you know how to select area, you know to upload your area of interest, you know how to display, to find your image, you know how to display it. Now, if I'm happy with this image, I would like to download it. I click on this basket, and I can see already, okay, this will be it will cost 86 euro, and it's a demo, so this price really doesn't reflect actual pricing, so you can disregard this. We have the metadata available here, and if I want to download it, I can choose my processing. So I have pan sharpen, bundle, 8 bits, 6 bands. So we have options here, production formats, JPEG, GeoTIFF, and then projections available here as well. So once I select my choice, I click order, and then image will be available in my workspace. So once you have the subscription and you download image to your workspace, you can also download it to your workstation and do the processing in GIS or any software you can think of. Other option here we have is, so we can access all the metadata, or if I want to continue streaming in GIS, I can just copy link, and there you go, we have the image available. Okay, I can also monitor my consumption, and here in my data I have all the images that I downloaded in the past, and here I have archive imagery and analytics toolbox. So from here I can launch my product. So if I want to count the cars over the area, I can do that, or if I want to count the tracks, that's absolutely no problem. And here is the order tracking. So I see if I order the image, if image is 100, 200 square kilometers, it's not going to be immediate. It will take a few minutes. So here you can track your order and see exactly when the image will be available to download. Okay, so this is a living library. This is how you access all the archive. And I just show you again, maybe one more information on the different resolutions. So here you have all available images, but if I want to filter it, okay, I'm only interested in 30 centimeters or 50 centimeters, 1.5 meter. And here, okay, I have a strict guidelines. I'm only interested in cloud cover, maximum 10%, 15%, or maximum incident angle. You set the rules, and only this information will be displayed. It's just to help you to clear your workspace, so you are not distracted with hundreds and millions of square kilometers of data that you're never going to use. Okay, so this is the living library, and I'll show you quickly as well how to task. I think Martin, are we still good on time? There is no time pressure. We good?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go on.
Perfect. Um, so to task, I just need to change my contract, and I tell you why you want to change the contract, because if you're working in big organization where 50 or 100 people have access to this platform, you can set the rules who can actually task, right? Because maybe you don't want everybody to have access to tasking. So you say, okay, 3 dedicated people have access to tasking, other people have access to download, other people have only access to streaming. So you set the rules at the beginning of the contract, and of course we can move around and change this constantly and move credits from one person to another. Okay, so let me just find the right contract. Moment. Okay, so I have my contract. Okay, so you see more options here. You can still access archive, tasking, analytics toolbox. And to launch the tasking, okay, the minimum area here is a slight different. It's 100 square kilometers. Okay, so again, if I want to task over Warsaw, I click on tasking, and I have also different options. So it depending on the urgency, right? One day, of course, is the most urgent, or a specific day that you want. I want to task the Pleiades Neo in 10 days from now, and I have the guaranteed availability and secure that image will be acquired, provided there is it reach your settings of the cloud cover and incident angle. And one now, so this is the tasking that would be the next available flyover. We will acquire image for you. And one plan, so this is the areas where we select the areas, and we select the time window. I want the coverage over big area, city or country between, for example, 1st of February and 3rd of April. And you click, if we click select, and then we see, okay, sensor Pleiades Neo. I select maximum acquisition angle, maximum accepted cloud cover. I can have the mono images, stereo or tree stereo. And then we set the window. I click continue. Here I can choose my processing. So do I want the primary, projected, or auto-rectified image? Again, the spectral bands I'm interested in, product format, pixel coding, priorities, and then I continue again. So this is the steps you will follow when you have access to one atlas and you want to task, right? And then of course you provided the name of your project, the application, so if it's civil engineering, consumer market, defense, distribution. Okay, reference, we just put 1, 2, 3, and then we provide our email address, we confirm our email address, continue, and then you have a confirmation that the tasking is already in the system. So you see, it's very hard, it's almost impossible to make a mistake because of the steps that you need to follow. And even if you change your mind before the tasking, you can always cancel this action, so there will be no charge on your side whatsoever. Okay, so you know how to access archive, you know how to select the area of interest, you know how to download image, you know now how to task Pleiades Neo, and Pleiades and Spot will be exactly the same process. I think you're very much familiar with the process now. You're ready to go. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
In the end of our webinar, check our others webinar on the cloudferro.com/en/webinars. Visit our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for being here today. And if you have any questions regarding our services or the VHR imagery shown today by Patrick from the Airbus, feel free to contact me directly. Thank you very much, and stay tuned on another webinars. Bye-bye.